Alright, so at the time of recording, this video is gonna be, about 2 or 3 weeks late compared to when I would like to have recorded it. That's not even including the editing process, which I may put off for another, week or so, just because I feel like it. But, you know, I went to see the gracious film known as Minions Rise of Gru. Saw it in theaters. I thought I'd make a review of it, so here it is. Minions The Rise of Gru is the peak of cinema. I have never been graced by a greater sight than Minions The Rise of Gru. If I had to rate Minions The Rise of Gru out of 10, I would give it an 11. I have 6 main talking points for this video regarding Minions The Rise of Gru. Point 1. Abortion. My favorite scene in Minions The Rise of Gru is when Stuart shits out a fuckload of eggs and hatches a baby chicken Stuart. This is my favorite scene because I love how it makes a bold stance on abortion in the United States. Stuart is clearly making a comment on women's right to fucking murder their children at their leisure. This is demonstrated by the way he cracks all of his eggs until he is prepared to be a responsible parent. Point 2. Wild Knuckles. I love the character development of Wild Knuckles throughout the movie. He starts as a big evil villain Stinky Head, and over time he realizes that kidnapping children is immoral. This leads him to encourage a child who he previously kidnapped and threatened with giant saw blades to fake his death to escape the authorities. This reminds me of the time that I hid Tesla coils in the trees in my yard to murder unsuspecting victims. I cannot state how much of a terrific film Illumination has brewed up for us this time. Point 3. Asian hate/racism. I love how, throughout the film, the characters are mildly racist towards Asians. The way they perpetuate negative Asian stereotypes by having many scenes making fun of kung fu and other traditional Asian martial practices is mildly uncomfortable to watch, and will no doubt raise countless children to believe that Asians are lesser beings and that killing them is perfectly justified. Frequent racist jokes about the minions being Asian because they are yellow lead to the overall movie feeling like a Klan meeting, a sensation not easily forgotten. The setting of 1976 America adds in the feeling of racism floating on the air like a heavy perfume. The frequent depictions of torture call back to bigoted films of yesteryear, such as Toy Story and Spook Like a Square Pumpkin. Point 4. Action and politics. The climactic fight between the Vicious Six and Gru and his minions is an enthralling depiction of trench warfare tactics used in the First and Second World Wars. Minions The Rise of Gru makes powerful commentary on divisive political issues such as whether arson should be punished by public burning, how many black people equal one white male, and does pineapple belong on pizza. Before Minions Rise of Gru, these questions would go unsolved. But since its release, it has sparked discourse and protests such as the recent protests against the Supreme Court ruling against the right to keep and bear homemade jam. Point 5. Kevin. Kevin is a fucking prick and should die in a fire. Point 6. Exceeding expectations. While expected to be a gentleman's film, it was quickly discovered that Illumination had made a genius business decision by making this movie marketable to people of all demographics. There are enough poop and fart jokes to keep the distinguished lot laughing, enough action scenes to keep the children entertained, and enough deep underlying messages to keep 30-year-old man-children pondering various intellectual topics. In conclusion, Minions The Rise of Gru is an excellent film and I do not expect it to be forgotten anytime soon. Thank you for listening, and remember, if you see that son of a bitch Kevin, curb stomp him immediately.
Minions are Chinese children!